Welcome to the video compilation of Learning Python Programming. In this set of videos, we are going to learn Python programming from the fundamentals and some of the advanced concepts in Python as well. Let's get started. Now, before we proceed, Python is one of the very oldest programming language that exists in this era. And to be more specific, Python is even older than Java. Python was invented in the year of 1991. Even though it was invented very long years ago, it is not in use till now. Python has gained its importance in the very later stages after the boom of big data and data analytics. Python is majorly used for data science, data analytics, machine learning, deep learning and artificial intelligence. Reason being, Python is very simple to code and easy to learn and understand. Let's get started. Let's begin with downloading and installing Python in our PC. For which I recommend we open up our Google Chrome browser and search for Python download. In our Google search page, we can very well see the very first link which says download Python. And when you enter, it will suggest you the very latest version of Python, which is Python 3.1.0. Or if you are looking for some of the older stable versions of Python, you can very well scroll down the same old page and you can always see the previously existing versions of Python, which is 3.9, 3.8, 3.7.11 and all the other versions of Python which is released. Which is released by the Python community. Now, when you talk about versions of Python, there are two existing versions of Python that is still in use, which is Python 2 and Python 3. Now, Python 2 and Python 3, even though they share a common name of Python, there are a lot of differences in terms of syntax between Python 2 and Python 3. And Python 2 being the very older version of Python, which was depreciated in the year of 2020 in the month of December, it is not in use anymore. Though the application that was created using Python 2 is still in use, but it is not being updated by the support community of Python. Python 3 is still in use and it is still upgraded and provided with continuous updates from the Python community. And Python 3.10 being the latest version of Python that is being released. Now, to download the same old Python 3.1.0, just click on the download link and it will download the suitable Python version for you. That is the installer file. Or if you are more specific about looking for a certain OS, either it is Windows, Linux or Mac OS, you can very well click on that particular link and that will direct you to another download page. Where you can be specific about the OS you want it for and then download it from that particular page. The download is about to get completed. Let us see how to install it first. It's about to open. Now the download is done. In order to install Python on the Mac OS, I'll just click on continue and it will show me the license agreement, which I'll click on continue again. So click on agree. And last for the location where to install it, I'll click on my Macintosh HD. I click on continue. I'll go with the default location of installation. When I click on install, it asks for my password. Yes, the installation is done and you can very well see Python 3.10 in my Mac now. Yes. So the installation is done. I'll click on the close file. I'll move the install to my bin and it's done. Now how to test it? How to check whether the Python 3 is installed in your PC or not? Now to do that, I recommend you open up your terminal and if this is going to be your Mac OS, type this command of Python 3 hyphen version. It shows Python 3.1.0, so it tells me that Python 3.10 is installed on my PC right now. If you're using Windows or Linux, I suggest you use the command of py. Py is a launcher which is installed along with your Python 3 installation in Windows. If you are using Linux, you can very well go with the same command of Python 3 - version. So I'll exit. I'll close my terminal. And in order to code and run Python programs, we are going to use an editor called Visual Studio Code, which is already installed in my PC and kept ready. So I'll create a new file. Before that, I'll also open up a terminal inside my VS Code. So there you go, the terminal is ready. Now before we proceed, I would like to mention Python is an interpreter based language, not a compiler based language. C and C++ and Java, which are compiler based language. Now what is the difference between a compiler based language and an interpreter based language? The purpose of both compiler and interpreter is to convert your high level program into a source code which is made of binary language. But the main difference between compiler and interpreter is nothing but compiler checks the whole program and then converts your code written in high level language into a machine level language. Whereas interpreter reads the program written by you in high level language line by line and converts it into a binary code which is a machine level language. So in short, compiler does it whole at the same time, interpreter does it line by line. That's a short difference about it. Now when your high level language is an interpreter based language, you can always run the interpreter from your terminal, that is with the help of the command of Python 3. Now you can see it prints some of the language informations about it, and then you can see this 3 angle brackets which says the interpreter is currently running, and you can type your Python commands directly here. For example, print function. Now print is a very short function which is used in Python to print the value to the screen. Now let us start with our conventional program of hello world. I'll simply say print hello world within quotes, which makes that hello world as a string, and when I press enter, you can very well see hello world is being printed in the same terminal window. So this is a very simple and single line command in Python to print hello world to the screen, and this is done with the help of an interpreter here. Now let us see how to do it from a file. So I'll exit the interpreter. I'll clear the screen. Now I already have created a file here. Now I'll save the file in the name of cp1.py, where py is an extension for Python files. So the file is created. I'll simply say print hello world. So hello world is a statement which I want to print to the console screen. Now how do I run this file? From the same directory with the command of Python 3 space, I have to provide a file name which is cp1.py, and when I press enter, it prints hello world to my screen from the file. And this is how in short about running a Python program from your terminal. In our next videos, we'll see how to create a variable and how to use it, and we also learn some of the basic fundamentals in Python. Thank you.